Pokémon Red and Pokémon Green versions were developed and released by Nintendo for the Game Boy handheld console in 1996. However, the green version was never actually released outside the Japanese gaming market. A blue version was released in 1998, and a yellow version released in 1999. With this first generation of Pokemon games, players were introduced to the main character now called Red. As the main character of the Pokemon franchise, Red predates Satoshi, as in the West he's called Ash Ketchum. Later players of the Pokemon games and even later generations of gamers who play Pokemon, when looking back, now consider Red to be Ash, but in another form, a prior form. What's interesting is that older gamers who remember playing the original Red and Blue versions still consider strongly for Red to be a separate character from Ash. Casual gamers and casual Pokemon fans remember Ash from being introduced in the Pokemon animated series in the West, but this was in 1998, a period of 2 years from after the original Red version was released for the Game Boy. Players already knew who the character of Red was, and knew that Ash was a separate trainer and a separate person. The origins or details of Red isn't exactly known. If we only consider or even use the original information of the Red version of the Pokemon game, then even the name of Red is something of a mystery. When first playing the game, the character is given a choice of a name. The default setting is that of Red because it's the Red version of the game. Blue had Blue as the version of the game as well, meaning Blue could be the name of the character of the game because the player had the Blue version. It's not because Red was the name for the character, just that the name of the character depended on the version of the game that the player had, either Red or Blue at the time. Red had both a mother and a father, neither of whom were named in the original games. With relation to his appearance, his outfit is being that of a basic trainer. It's actually believed that Satoshi's appearance is actually based on Red's. In terms of personality, Red rarely spoke in terms of dialogue between him and other trainers or him and Pokemon, and was very serious with Pokemon and dealing with other trainers as a fact. Unlike Satoshi, who had friends and was very sociable and had a likable personality, Red was considered somewhat distant and even ruthless. After the initial appearances of Red and later generations of Pokemon games, the concept of Red was later abandoned or changed. Installments had it that Red was a secret character that the trainer could fight once all other trainers were defeated, and the levels of his Pokemon were maxed out, and he was almost impossible to defeat due to how good he was as a trainer. Though the aspects of Red has changed since the years that he was introduced, and in some ways has become the same as Satoshi, older gamers remember who he was and the fact that once again they were separate. Sometimes a character can be forgotten because there was not much else to remember about them to begin with.